Hi guys, so for today's Freeform Friday, what we're going to do is make a house for the swap that just went out, which is the ephemera folder swap, the Valentine ephemera folder. And I think even if you didn't join the swap, sorry, I'm trying to straighten this out. This will be something that I think might be fun for you if you're just making something for yourself, a little like flow book or whatever. I'm going to do this in a way that's not laminated, and I think it's just going to be a lot of paper and hopefully a lot of fun. So if I have any links in the description box for any of the items I might use here, those would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. Now, a lot of my gals are very sweet, and they sent a set for me separately, so I have a lot of folders. I grabbed the ones that I think were my swap partners, so a few of these I know for sure were, and I just grabbed 4, basically. So I'm going to show you how to make something that will hold 4, because that's what the whole point was, right? And that's why I asked you guys to keep them about 1/4 inch, because we are going to put them in what would be like a traveler's notebook today. I was thinking about making like a little holder, like a magazine holder, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe at a later date, because then you can just put them on a little shelf like that. I think that'd be really cute too, right, with a little magazine holder. Super easy. I mean, it's a very simple thing to design. I was going to do it in Cricut, but then I thought, well, not everybody has a Cricut or Design Space would want to work with that. So we're just going to make this by hand. And so what I need to do is grab some paper. I want to make it extra sturdy. I might use some little grommets if I can even find them. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a binding that is going to hold on to these guys in a fun way, I hope. And we will just go from there. I think this will be cool. So let me grab a ton of paper. I need a paper punch, because that's what I'm going to do. I forgot. In my head, I'm thinking the different types of binding, and I was like, oh, I'll do it like travels, and I thought, oh, no, we'll use our paper punches. So here I am forgetting already what I was going to do. So I do need some paper. We're going to make it extra sturdy, and so I need like layering papers. I might even pull out my little sewing machine just to do something fun, a little more eclectic, but you guys obviously don't have to do that. I'll show you the basic construction and then do whatever you like, of course. So let me go grab some of those things and I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so upset with myself. I can't find the Hobby Lobby paper I had picked up when I did these folders literally just a few days ago. Little, Valentine paper. I have no idea. I mean, I can't spend much more time looking for it, but maybe it's in here. No, darn. That would be the last place. Okay, well, I don't have that much Valentine's papers. That many, should I say. So, I'm going to use this one. It's the Parisian collection. I thought, well, it's kind of sweet because we have this little like couple in the front. So I'm going to take this. And this is 6x6 paper. That's kind of why I was going to show you how you can use paper like this even for something larger. And then I want an accent color, but where is it? This one, I guess. And I already pulled this coral paper because that's what I wanted to use as a background, and even though it doesn't super match, I'm still going to go with it. No, I'm not. Am I? I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm still going to go with it. Okay. So a couple things. We need something for the actual base of the holder. Now, I was going to grab some 12x12 paper. I do not have like super sturdy 12x12 paper. And I didn't really want it to be like wonky or weird, so I grabbed this stuff. It's just 8.5 by 11. So we already know our guys are already 8.5 tall. So this is gonna be like exactly the height, okay? So if that bothers you, what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna add a little lace all around the edge, so that'll kind of run interference with that. But if that bothers you, then just make yours with the 12x12 paper, but cut it a little bit higher, okay? Because the other amounts will be the same. So I just grabbed several pieces of that because I don't know what I need. I also grabbed like a little background piece just to help us make it look more sturdy or get more sturdy. Whenever you start adding more and more paper and glue it, it just feels sturdier, right? So I'm going to put these to the side for now. And then I have a paper punch here. And it's just going to be glue and paper, basically. I might use this new little snap kit that I have to make a closure, but you can put Velcro or you can just put ribbon and you would tie it. Whatever it is that you want. But hopefully this will give you the main idea. And you know me, I haven't even written down what I want to do. So we need about 1 inch spine. Now what I'm going to do is going to take up a little more than 1 inch. So this is already 8.5. I'm not going to do anything with that. Our books are 4.5 inches wide. So we are going to add a little bit of, because we can do that. We have 11 inches here. So I'm going to add a little bit of room just so it's not like super tight, you know. So like if you want to stick out 1/4 inch or so, 1/4 inch is kind of a lot, isn't it? Let's do 1/8 inch, so 1/4 inch extra all around, right, to the sides. So if this is 4.5 times 2, we need 9. We're going to add 1/4 inch to that, so that's 9.25. And then I need a spine that's 1 inch, so that's 10.25. But I want to add a little bit extra on that spine because we need it to be a little bit bigger. So what did I say? 9 1/4, 10 1/4. Let's go 10 3/8. I know that's a pain number, but that's what we need. So I'm going to cut this at 10 3/8, okay, on the 11-inch side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so 8 1/2 by 10 3/8. Now, I said we were going to do 4 1/2, and I gave myself 1/8 of an inch, right? So 1/8 of an inch here, 1/8 of an inch here means 1/4 inch. So it's not going to be 4 1/2. I'm going to score at 4 1/2 plus that 1/8 of an inch, so it's 4 5/8. And to make it easy, instead of, I guess we could just go an inch from there, but remember it's kind of over an inch. I'm just going to turn this and do it again at 4 5/8, so we don't even have to think about that middle piece for now. And this is going to be what holds this stuff, okay? I mean, that's going to be super easy, super simple, guys. Now, like I said, I want to make this sturdier. I also want to corner round it, because you know how I do. So let's take a corner rounder. And I like it. Corner rounder, if you don't care for that, just don't do it. So, what I want to do is make matte layers for these areas here. Now, I should know the number in my head, but I already forgot. And people are like, can you write this down? It's like, I can barely write down for myself. Okay, so let's just say it's about 4 1/2. Remember, it was 4 5/8, which now I measure it, I'm barely there. I'm telling you, whenever you do things by hand, you know, who knows? I'm going to say, if it's 4 inches, no, 4 inches too small. 4, let's do 4 3/8 matte by, that takes away, it was 4 5/8, and we have 8 1/2. I'm taking away 1/4 inch, huh? So 4 3/8 by 8 1/4, okay? 4 3/8 by 8 1/4 is what I'm going to cut this down to, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so in cutting down my pieces, what I realized is, like, if you have your whole sheet, you might as well cut it at 8 1/4, right? So they're all 8 1/4, everything that we mat on here, and then cut your pieces. And again, I'll give you the sizes again on that, because I know that was little. I didn't talk about the spine when I went ahead and cut it. Why not? So cut off the 8 1/4, and then from there you can cut your pieces that I think I said 4 3/8. So I have 2 4 3/8, and this one's only 7/8. It's just smaller than an inch, okay? And what I'm going to do with 2 of these is run them through my embossing folder. And of course, you know, if you know you've been watching, you know which one. Oh, I was going to say, you know which one I've been thinking about, but you know what? Maybe, no, do they fit in here? Yeah, it's too small. Well, too skinny. I'm going to use my heart embossing folder from Spellbinders, if I can find it. I've been using it so much, I just put it right back next to me. So funny. Yeah, I had it next to me, but tucked away already, like with the other Spellbinders things here. So, sorry guys, I was about to misspeak. I'm only going to run through the back one and then the one that goes on the spine, because in the front I'm going to cover it up, so you're probably not going to see that it's textured, and then I don't want it to make it that much harder to stick things down to it because it's textured, right? And then what we can do on one of these already is go ahead and corner around it, because that's what I want to do. And I do leave that one side straight just so it mats in really nicely, but you know, if you want to corner around that too, you can. And I'll go ahead and corner around this guy for the front, which actually adds a little something different, because I am going to do some sewing with this other piece, and maybe the corner rounding complicates that. But I am going to place this here. I can hear things moving because I'm telling you, I was looking for that paper pad, like if my life depended on it. Okay, so I'm going to run this through, and I'm also going to run this little strip through, just to give it some texture, and I'll be right back. Okay. Now, here's where we're going to do a couple things, or you have to think about what it is that you want to do. If you're going to use ribbon, you're going to want to go ahead and glue that ribbon in between these 2 layers, right? So that the ribbon is coming out this way, and then when you put the front one down, it's also coming out the other way. Like I said, I think I'm going to do some kind of latch. Wish me luck, because I haven't done this before. I'm going to use that new system, but if you're going to use Velcro, you also do a latch, so you're not going to need that for that. But if you are going to use ribbon, put it on there now, right? The other thing is I corner rounded my pieces. Maybe the folders you got, maybe some of them aren't corner rounded, so they're going to end up sticking out. But I'm going to corner around those too, because I have a corner chomper, so corner around, whatever I like. Alright, so I'm going to stick this down real well. Again, if you're doing ribbon, sandwich that in there. It's going to look really cute. Or seam binding. Oh, how sweet. You could also, if you wanted to put lace, you can put lace between these two layers, right? But I don't think it would look as great. You have to really think about that one. About how you're going to lay that out, you know? Okay. Oh, so cute. And then this guy. And I am going to bring out the sewing machine now. I haven't used this one in a while. I had to get rid of a few of my older little machines. I have a bunch of little like gimmicky machines I would pick up like on HSN when they were 20 bucks. You remember back in the day they would have like little sewing machines or like QVC. And they just, I think they probably froze up, but they probably needed to be oiled and other things, but they were sitting there for so long they just were not great. Now, I'm just putting this on here. Again, I didn't emboss it. If that bothers you, knowing behind there's not embossed, then emboss it. But for me, I'm just putting this down, and then I'm going to do some paper piecing with that 6-inch paper pad that we trimmed down. So I guess I'm going to have to decide that now. Okay, so we have this paper. And of course, this is not tall enough. And if I want to keep those little people on there, I guess that's what I'll do. And then this little piece will patch up the rest of it. And this is just, you know, you don't have to do this if you don't like the look of that. You know, you don't have to, you can just put a piece on there. It doesn't even have to mat the whole thing, I guess, if you really wanted to. I'm just thinking of fun things to do. So, if this is already, let's see here, 4 and, I keep reminding myself, 3/8. I'm going to make this really skinny. So if we have 4 3/8, I'm just going to make this one, I'm going to take off 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut these to 4 1/4 wide, and then I'll decide what I need to make them in the height. Okay, so 4 1/4 this way. So both these are 4 1/4 wide. We know this one's 6 inches tall. And if we're just doing, you know, 4 1/4, we're barely bringing this in here. And this was, so we only took a little bit off of this here. We took an 1/8 inch basically, right? So if this is 8 1/4 inches tall, then I need this to be at 8 1/8. Let me think. Whatever this is, we can just kind of eyeball it while we're sitting here. Then I can tell you that number. Again, the Freeform Friday, guys. But I just go with it. But let's see. Especially because you probably won't do exactly what I'm doing, so it's just, you know, a way of decorating this. It's not a big deal. Now let me measure what that is right quick, and I'll take that little bit off that's extra down there because I don't need it. Yeah, 8 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down so I have a little bit to glue behind here that makes this 8 1/8. That means if this is 6 inches, I need at least 8 1/8, obviously, plus maybe 1/4 inch to glue it. So 8 3/8. Sounds good. I'll be right back. I'm going to cut this to 2 3/8 more inches. Well, actually, I don't have to be right back. I'll just do it now. 2 3/8. Let's see if we're right. Because I have a little 1/4 inch overlap. Or whatever. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so I'm going to glue this here. Just barely. And if for some reason I have to trim it down the other direction, I will. So there we have that. This. Make sure it's nice and straight. And this will be in here somehow like that. Yeah, not too bad. And then we can straighten it out if I need to cut it. Okay, I'm going to go get my sewing machine. Okay guys, this might be a total disaster, but I just switched out the thread for white thread. It was orange and yellow for some reason, so I switched out the top and the bottom bobbin, and it worked well, so we will see. What I think I'm going to do is I have a piece of that pearlescent paper that I cut off earlier, and I thought, oh, you know, that might be cute right there, so maybe I'll put some stitching on that. So I'll just do straight stitching. The thing is, I'm going to corner around this one, so actually I'm going to corner around it right now. That is going to add to the difficulty of getting this thing done. So like I said, if you don't want to corner around it because you feel like, I'd rather just have it straight, then do that, okay? So, I have it on a zigzag stitch. I have no idea how big this zigzag is. This is just to add a little something fun. So I just dropped my presser foot, and I always kind of do this myself, just so I don't lose the thread. I bring it down, the needle. That's too high. Hold on, let me move over a little bit. I bring the needle down into my paper, and then I go from there. Now I have this little foot pedal, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. Oh, it's working. Now if I put this obviously at my table, I would step on it. I also have the control here where I can just say I want it to do that. And you have to control it, right? So I'm going to go down this way, and then I'm going to come around this curve, supposedly. We'll see how well I do. Not great, but that's okay. And I'll just keep going. It looks like it's doing okay. Finish that. Almost got through it without incident, but when it got here, it got like stuck, and then I just kept going. So I'm going to pull that one thread through if I can, bring it to this side just so it disappears. But other than that, I would just cut it away or just leave it. It doesn't even matter. Not leave the thread. What I'm saying is cut it. Okay. Hey, not bad. I'll just keep it pulled through. And, you know, it's not perfect, but that's what's expected, and that's kind of what I'm going for anyway, right? Okay, and then this little guy, I was thinking about just putting it across here. So I'll do with this one too is just put a zigzag stitch on it. So I'm just going to place this guy right here. Bring down my needle, and hopefully this thing will cooperate again. And I'll just go. I'm not sure for how long because I don't really know what I'm doing with this, but I'll just let it go. And then we'll cut it down to what we need. I think that's good. Pick up my... This is so cute. Haven't done something like this in a long time now. Why is it not releasing? Oh. Sometimes you have to pick this up yourself, and then until the tension just goes away, and usually it has to do with this. I don't know why it's not letting go right now. Well, that's fine. Be like that. Alright. This is why I don't involve machines. But you can see it's okay. It did a little something funky there. Again, there it is. Okay, I'm going to unplug this and put it away. So, sorry, I'll bring this back. And again, I'm just going to glue this down. I'll probably just leave those strings hanging out over there, not this one down here. This one needs to be tucked away. And I'm just going to use glue. Oh my goodness, this glue. She's on her last leg. So, not only is it empty, it also wants to not come out. So I'm going to go around here. Again, whatever it is that you want to decorate. Or however it is that you want to decorate it. I'll put a little glue in here. I don't want this to reactivate and do anything funky. Trying to make sure I bury that little piece of thread that was wonky down there. And this is just inside that pink. But again, I'm looking for sturdiness. That's why I even put this on the back. I didn't really need to, but it just makes it feel that much more sturdy, right, when you're adding more and more layers. And this guy, should I use it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I want to use it from the beginning or not. That means like 4 and whatever this was. I already forgot. 4 1/4. Where's 4 1/4 on here? 4 1/4. Okay, I'm gonna chop this down with the guillotine. I'll be right back. I went a little bigger than 4 1/4 because I wanted to look more like, who cares, you know what I'm saying, instead of just being so perfect. So I went almost 4 1/2. And again, I can pop that there, or in that space. Alright, I'm gonna hold that down. And now I need to engineer the inside. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I haven't thought about it enough to have written it down. So let me think. Okay, so we have this stuff, and then of course we'll decorate this in just a minute, a little more, but I just want to put that on there. So on the inside, my idea is to bring these guys in, but right now, if you wanted to, you can make holes, and then do the elastic. You can maybe do a ring binding. You can just tie it in with ribbons. I know some people will do that. They'll tie it and keep going around the next one and the next one, and then just tie it on the outside. But what I was going to do is a series of up and down. I don't know, I guess maybe I'll use this. I wasn't thinking about using colored paper. I was going to use the same color paper, the same beige one. But what I was going to do is just a series of up and down flaps, just like when we do a binding, but it'll be a little bit different. Okay, so I have to think about how I'm going to get that done, and I will be right back. I started cutting because I need to get this out of my head, and then once we do this part, we'll know about the part that's going to actually hold this into the book. So I hope this works. All right, I have 3 strips right now that are 2 1/4 inches by the 8 1/2, right? 8 1/2 is basically what we're doing. And what I'm gonna do on these guys is score them 1 inch off of either side. Let me put this to the side. Oh, I hope this works. It's like a binding, but it's like a loose bind. It's like its own thing. I don't know how to explain it. So, okay, so 2 1/4 inches, and I'm gonna do 1 inch, and then 1 1/4 inches. I guess you could just turn and do 1 inch and 1 inch, but inch, 1 1/4 inches, okay, on all 3 of them. And then I'm going to punch them. And when you do punching, you always start in the center. Now, if you have a die, then of course use your die. You just run it through your die cutting machine, just place it where you need it. Especially, oh, the little slim lines. Oh, the new ones from like LDRS, that'd be so cute. But, because basically a slimline die will do it for you all at once. But I'm doing these little hearts. Okay? And I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll start in the center, and I'll do the same thing for the other 2 flaps. And I'm just eyeballing where the center is. I'm not really looking for the center, okay? I'll be back. Hey guys. So this is where it starts getting fun. Sorry, my husband had called and he says he might have to be stuck in Paris. I'm like, ooh, horrible. Sounds horrible. Now his flight's leaving late from Atlanta, and then it goes to Paris, but then from Paris it goes to the spot where he stays out there in Africa, and there's only 2 flights a week that go there, so if he misses it, I was like, oh, sounds real bad. Okay, I'm trying to give this a good reinforcement, you know, with the bone folding, because what we're going to do with these guys is now, this is going to make it a permanent fixture. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to do that, then don't. But, you know, we're going to glue these on, and then this one connects to the next one that same way. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. But let's see, where's my 3rd one? Oh, okay, I'm trying to think what I want to do as far as color scheme, who goes where, you know. Maybe we just make it pink. Yeah, sure. Okay. So the first one and the last one are going to have a different kind of binding. It might be very similar, but it's going to be a little bit different. So for now, what I'm going to do is take this. My goodness, you guys. Yes, I need to open another one. Okay. But it's good to the last drop, so I got to use it all up. Okay. What was I doing? Okay, so where I punched it, basically this part, we're making like a binding, and then this binding is going to get glued into our book. And that's why I gave myself a little more than 1 inch, because these spaces here are going to take up room, you know? So when we do this, and we got to make sure this is really glued down. And if you want to use a sticky tape, go ahead. I have a feeling it'll fall apart. So I'm a glue girl, honestly. I actually have a mini album I made not too long ago. Actually, it was a while ago, with the Crafts Companion Precious Moments or Precious Memories, and it is completely falling apart. So I have to, like, fix it, basically. So, okay, I'm gonna let that set up for a little bit, because I don't want it to, I don't want to fight between the 2 of them or sit here holding this, so I'm gonna let this set up on its own. And hopefully you kind of see what we're doing. Hopefully this makes sense. This is just an idea. I thought that was sweet. So, we're doing it. Why did that fall? So this guy, I'm going to let it set up for a little bit longer. I'm just making sure that it's completely on that edge and really holding on before I move on to like this guy. And if you need to take off the paper clips, go ahead, because obviously they are kind of obstructive right now. And then that guy, I'm going to put glue and glue this guy to it, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay. And just like we did before, I'm going to put glue on this, all on that edge, just making sure that really touches. And all these little spaces, and you know, I'm not doing anything special. There's a bunch of little holes. I'm just kind of squeezing this as I go along. And if you don't want to, honestly, you don't have to glue this part down, the little hearts or whatever die you're using. And this guy, I'm going to look from back here and glue that on. And you are going to want to make sure this is nice and straight, especially if you're using paper that is the 8.5 by 11 and you have it 8.5 inches tall. You want to make sure that this is straight, you know what I'm saying? Like flush to each other. This is so cute already. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. So now after this one, I'm going to bring this next one, go ahead and fold it. I'm going to glue it to the back of this guy. And then I'm going to bring this guy and glue him on the other side, right? Just like we did right now. The same little kind of gusset. I always call it a gusset, gaps. I don't know, binding, I guess is what we're looking for. Try to just make sure that that's touching really well. Sorry if I'm out of frame. All I'm doing is taking, oh, a nicer bone folder than that pink one I'm always showing you guys. It's all gross. Yeah, glue gets stuck on there and then whatever. That looks really, really good. And then we're also going to glue this to the back of our book. So this next one, I'm going to, again, give it a really good score. Hold this one. I think this is going to work, guys. And I'm sorry, if you're new to my channel, this is how I do things. I know, well, not a lot of times. Some people will leave me messages or comments. You should be prepared, or you should be ready. And it's like, that's not how it is here. But if you need that, there's plenty of channels that are that way. Just not this one. Okay, so I just made another gusset, or whatever you want to call it. And we're just going to leave that there. I'm going to glue it here. And then I'll put glue and glue this one. And then the next one, right? The next one, this guy. And then we're going to figure out how we're going to attach that with the front and the back of, you know what I'm saying, how we're going to do this side. Okay? And then the back side. Just want to check in with you guys. I am plugging right along. The only one that scared me was honestly this glitter one. Because glitter, and you know, it's chunky. It doesn't really want to stick. So I had to spend a lot of time holding that down. And I'm almost there. So I'm almost done with this. But look how pretty it looks on the back. And that's the spine. So this is what I was saying. It's a little more than a quarter of an inch because these little gaps right here is a folder is going to take up room, you know, on your spine. So good thing we made the spine a little bit bigger. Let me bring back, where is my folder? So hopefully you can kind of see what we're doing. So then these things are going to get glued into this. Boom. I think we're going to be good, guys. Yay. Just that first one, I mean, I want it to match, so that's why I'm like, how am I going to get this to go into the other piece? But we'll figure something out. But yeah. Okay, I'm just going to finish off by gluing this last one on. And then we will go from there. We'll figure it out. And this one's going to glue on right here. Boom. Again, making sure they're all nice and lined up. I'm still waiting for the glue to set up, but hopefully this makes sense. You see that? And then we have this one and this one. And that's the other thing. So I'm not sure that I want to glue it completely on the spines in, or if I want to give it some room. But that actually might work for me because I was thinking what I can do to finish this off so these little hearts are also in the front is just do a piece that wraps around this whole thing and then glue that to the our binding. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, you guys, that is a perfect fit. But see what I'm saying? Like, if I just glue these down, I guess it's okay. The whole thing is going to move. I kind of like to give them some room to shift, to move on their own. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So, I'm assuming this is about 1 inch, but it might be a little bit more. Oh, yeah, it's like 1 inch. Okay, so 1 inch plus, I gave myself 1 inches on the other, so 1 inch, 3 inch, and a little bit extra. Let's give ourselves 3 inches and a little bit extra. So I'm going to cut this piece of paper just a little bit bigger than 3 inches. I'll be right back. So I have this piece. I gave myself a little bit more than 3 inches, like a little bit more, guys. So you can just eyeball that. If it doesn't work, you know, just do it again. But so on either side, I'm going to do 1 inch, so that way this middle part has that little bit extra, and we don't even have to think about it. And on the other side, 1 inch. So again, this paper is still 8.5 inches because that's what we need, and 1 inch on either side. But to make it match and to be cute, I'm also going to punch this. So I'm going to punch it just like I did out the other one. So start here in the center, move over a little bit, and I'm only going to glue this part to my books and leave the back binding off of the binding that we just did, but it is going to be stuck down to the book itself. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, it'll make sense once we get it done. Alright guys, oh, I'm trying to line that up. Doesn't look too great. Oh, you know what? Something's bothering this. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'll be back. So I hope you're following me here. I'm not going to glue this to this spine, but I am going to glue these front and back pieces. I don't know what my paper punch started doing. It started making it so I couldn't push it all the way in, so I just had to eyeball it. She is pretty old. I'm gonna let this free hang, like free flow, but we are gonna glue this down just like we did before. So glue all this. But this time we're making it like a little sandwich. So again, and this was about just a little bit over 3 inches. And it doesn't really matter if I have it the right way or not right now. I'm going to glue that here. There's got, you know, tons of ways to do this. This is just what I came up with right now. Right? And then we're going to glue this other side on the other side. So now it has a spine. Honestly, look at that. It looks cute just by itself, just like that. But what I'm going to do is put glue on this, not on the inside, but just on that, and then glue that in here. And that way we have an extra sturdy everything going on there. I guess I can lay that down right now while I glue this other side. Lots of glue. I suppose you can use hot glue if you want. You know, don't need it, but that would work. Especially for the spine part, I think that'll be nice when we glue this next part down. But, oh, put glue on my counter. I do not want that to happen. There's a little bit extra. I'm going to really push it and make sure it holds on to close that gap, basically, that I just created. I'm going to hold this, but I'm also going to clean up this glue, okay? So I'll be back. Okay, guys. So I kind of split the difference. It did need a little extra, so all I did was take this and just bone folded that so it's still nice and straight, okay? So just kind of make the adjustments as you need to. And then I'm going to glue this on here. And that is it. Like I said, I'll probably bone fold the ones that aren't bone folded because they're sticking out. But other than that, I'm happy with that. Okay, tons of glue. Now this is the one that I'm really going to have to wait to set up. And unless this rips out, it should just stay there. Now, that's what I was saying. If you want to do it more like a, what's that thing called? A traveler's notebook, then go for it. It's your book. Most time what I do with my bindings is I have a thing that comes out the front and I stick it to the front, right? Kind of like I've shown in pretty much any other video where I've done a mini album. I'm going to give this a little bit of a zhuzh so that glue spreads out. So it's just really all over. And that's it. So I'm going to hold that down until it dries. And I'm not going to mess with it until it dries. So basically these guys are going to be free flowing, the actual spines, but what's actually glued down is that little piece that we just wrapped around. And when you open it, it opens and it looks nice. So I'm going to hold that until it dries, guys, which is kind of a bummer. But maybe in the meantime, ooh, you know what we can do? I just want to make sure this stays down, so I want that pressure to be on there. I'll put it here. I think that's okay. I need to put this somewhere where I can put pressure on the top, okay? And that way it keeps it touching. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make a little strap. I just have this piece of paper that I literally just cut off the edge of something, and it's 1 1/8 of an inch, so that's fine. What I'm gonna do is, we need at least an inch or so to come around the book, right? And then like an inch to be glued to the other side. So it says 2 inches plus another inch or so. 3 inches. Let me see what 3 inches might look like on that. Let's do 3 1/4. Because we do need, I mean, that book is going to be kind of snug, right? Let's go 3 1/2. So if this is 3 1/2, and this is going to be what wraps around, that seemed very short. But yeah, I guess. That seems too short. Let's bring our book back. I finally found a spot that I can put it and hopefully not knock it over, but I think I'm going to end up knocking things over. Trying to see about how much. Yeah, that's way too short. Okay, let's go with what's left. That works. This is 5 inches. So 5 inches by 1 inch and 1/8. And so on this one, I want it to be 1 inch and 1/8, huh? Let's go, because it's barely going to be on there. So let's do 1 inch by 4 7/8. I'm going to run this through my machine again, the Spellbinders machine, because I want to put the little hearts on this too, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to glue these two together for now and give them a moment to dry, because I'm going to use that little snaps, but you know, we could be done with it basically if you just do this and then you put some Velcro. And the Velcro I've been using is just from the Dollar Tree, you guys. But I'm gonna let this set up really well before we attach it to anything, and I'll be back. While I'm waiting for this to set up, I want to show you how to use this. This is the Dritz set. Actually, I just opened it right now. Not inexpensive, but I have a better link for you guys if you want to check it out. It's from Amazon. I'm actually waiting for that one to come in too, but you know what? Might as well show you guys how to use these. So we do need this all. We're going to poke a hole to add the little snap insert, or snaps, not insert. So we'll talk about that in just a minute, but for right now we have this tool, right? And if you squeeze it, you can remove that. Actually, that's really handy. I like that. So we're going to open that up. And they're just telling you to insert the tools. Insert small side of metal base into the pressing head. And you would think, why don't they just do this? Oh, there. They will not. And then they have this thing helps you remove the tools. But for now, we want these guys. So we have the coral cap holder. We have the pressing head, which is this little guy. And the metal die base. I do not know what these parts are for right now, but we will figure that out. I'm assuming it's for something, yeah. Clearly it's for something. Okay, so here we are. Oh, that's so cute. So this one is like if you're doing snaps that are like decorative or whatever else. Anyway, so for right now, I think we just need this one. I just want to make sure. Okay. And then we have this guy. Oh, okay, I see. There's more of these things. These pieces here, I guess, in case something happens. I don't know. Or maybe once you put this on, it stays on. Who knows? They look like this. It says Dritz, just like that. And they have this little guy, the orange one, down here. And then up on top, they have this guy. But I'm assuming, yep, exactly. Okay, so we have this little clear plastic piece. We are going to take this guy and insert that, and there's a thicker side and a smaller side. Okay, so clearly the smaller side goes in here because otherwise you're not going to be able to get the other piece in here. Ooh, tight fit. And then this guy is going to go up in here. Now we're ready to go. Okay, this guy's almost ready. I think I'm just waiting for the glue to dry. Let me put these little bits back away before I end up losing something. I don't want to do that. And I'll be right back. So, I'm going to put this guy over here. Should I go that way or this way? The little hearts have a direction. We'll go this way. And then we're going to glue it back here. Now, I'm not going to glue it down yet, and to be honest, I don't even care. So what I'm going to do is more focus on this side, and then we'll go from there. So, I think I'm going to put it here. Now, this is funny. I have plenty of little mats that we can put back there. Like this guy. You know? Because we need to poke a hole. So if I put that there, I'm going to take my awl, actually maybe more like there, and we're going to poke a hole. Where do we want it? Here? Sure. And basically you're poking a hole between this and all the way down into your paper, because you want to make sure that you're going to put these snaps in the right spot. So for now, I don't know if you're supposed to go further than that, but I'm going to go in a little bit further because I have a feeling the snap has a certain amount of stuff that needs to get in there. And then here's my other hole. And I'm going to go right in there. Okay, so I'm making a nice size hole. Let me put these things away. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So, I'm going to do the cute part first. I hope. And I hope this works. So of course, and it's not really cute, these are just round, but so when you open this up, these are from Hobby Lobby. Oh, there's a ton in there. They're Soology. Basically, since these are the same, they're not decorative, you're just going to use two of these, right? Two of these white caps, because one's going to be on the top, one's going to be at the bottom. And then you need one of each of these. So we have what they call a female and a male part, but they're calling them stud and socket, which I prefer. So we'll put these, we just need one of each. And this makes it easy because basically you just need one of these guys. And it's up to you, which one do you want at the top, which one do you want at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. I mean, they're showing, they don't even care. Like, you know, whatever you want. So obviously on the right side, we're going to have this. Now, I can add it to this thing first, I suppose, because this is what we want to show. We don't want the ugly side showing, right? So I'm going to put that down. And then again, do you want this side out here? Or do you want the little stud part out here? That's interesting. Because that'll be showing. I think I want it this way. So whichever part you want. But now we're going to put this on here. Oopsie. Obviously with that little mount facing out, right? This piece facing out. And then you're just going to, I can even push it down and it kind of holds on already. Because all this is going to do is really clamp it down is basically what you're doing. And so this cute part is going to hold this. And then this guy is going to push into that. And you just push it until, I pushed it until it met. But you just want to make sure it actually does it. See how it just came back out? So you really need to give it a good push, which is scary, guys. I don't know what's too hard or what's hard enough. Let's see, is that good enough? Alright, that's pretty good. It did crush my paper a little bit, but we can fix that. Ooh, interesting. I wonder what's going to happen when we actually do the book, because that's a lot of paper. Ooh, let's see. Alright, pretty side is going to go inside, going up, right? And then this guy is going to go here. I do not know if this is going to work, I'm not going to lie, because that's a lot of paper. We will see. If not, I'll have to just redo my strap, and then I'll put, what's the stuff called? Oh, you know what I could do is remove some of the paper. We might have to. Let's see. Let's try this. See what happens. I'm giving it really good squish. Like the best squish I could do. It's holding it for now. What happens is that thing, that metal, squishes that plastic. So now the plastic is like squished down and it shouldn't come off. Alright. Looks pretty good. What I was going to say is if you have a lot of paper and you go into this problem, what I would do is maybe take like my corner punch. Not corner punch, sorry, this guy. Your crocodile, and maybe take a little bit out, right? This little hole will help it kind of get in there. So now you have it punched out and then you can do that. Now let's see, moment of truth. Aww, so cute. Okay, and then we're gonna glue this over here. Now, if you're not doing this and if you're not using this, then, you know, just, who cares? You can use your Velcro, like I said, or ribbon. Ribbon's gonna be the fastest and easiest. You would just sandwich it in between there and you just tie it and you'd be done already. But this is a new toy I wanted to try out, so I am actually very happy with that. Now, how snug do you want it, right? It's just gonna get smaller from here as you're using up the ephemera, so for me this feels pretty good. If you want to use hot glue to stick it down immediately and leave it alone, that's great. I am going to put glue, and plenty of glue, and I'm going to hold it until it's set up. So here we go, and just about here. Okay, I'm just going to hold that down until it doesn't let go, and I'll be back. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've just been holding this. I went to watch TV. That is so cute, and that is a legitimate snap. My goodness. Look at that. I probably should have cornered around this. I forgot. Oh well. But now look at this. So you have your little book. You can open it up. You can see all your little goodies in there. Okay, maybe I want to use this or that. Put the clippy back on. Maybe on this one. You guys, look how easily we can flip through this. I mean, this is just adorable. Hope you guys like it too. I had a lot of fun with this. This is, I mean, this came out way better than I had imagined. I mean, this is so cute. And so I'll probably, you know, maybe do a little Valentine ephemera or something, or put it on the side so you know when you see it from the side what it is. Decorate up the side. I mean, obviously you guys can do whatever your heart desires. You guys have so many ideas. I mean, I see it all the time when I get the swaps in. You guys are just amazing. But I'll probably even get some little goodies from in here and decorate the front, you know. Ooh, yeah, for sure. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll have some images, links for different items in the description box. Yeah, this was just a lot of fun. I'm like just hyped right now. Alright guys, I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.